Thank you for joining us today at Homestead for Life. Today we're going to do things a little bit differently. Today we are going back to the dehydrator and we are going to dehydrate our leftover watermelon. So it was just Memorial Day weekend. We've got a little bit of extra watermelon and we're going to dehydrate the leftovers so they last a little bit longer. But it's also because it's taking the moisture out of it, it's going to make the flavor punch a little bit more. So I am pretty excited. I've heard amazing things about dehydrated watermelon, so here we go. Okay. So there's not really much to this. We want to get the seeds out because seeds never dehydrate or freeze dry or anything. They never quite dry right. And then we want to slice our pieces a little bit thinner. So we are aiming for 1/4 inch thick slices. You can do them thicker than that, but they're going to have a much harder time, slower time drying. The recipe, it seems silly to even mention that there's a recipe for this, but it's actually even in the book that my dehydrator came with. The recipe says to leave them, got some seeds. This is why you wash your counters first. But the book that came with the dehydrator even said leave them about the size of like a nacho. These, of course, were already sliced up for Memorial Day, so they are a little bit oddly shaped. They are not nacho shaped, and then to cut them at 1/4 inch thick. So we're going to go through the bowl and slice them all a little bit thinner so that they will dehydrate well, and then we're going to load up the machine. So we've got all of our slices, sliced, because that's not redundant, sorry. We've got all of our watermelon sliced up on our trays. Missed a couple seeds. Some of the pieces aren't quite 1/4 inch thick. So we've got them all loaded up into our dehydrator. Quick note about this dehydrator. The reason I chose this one when I purchased a new one a few years ago was because of the amount of trays and the options for the trays. So this one came with 3 of these liners. So it's going to keep your fluids in a little bit better, keep them from dripping all over the place, keep your smaller pieces from going through. It came with 3 of those, which are actually more for like if you're making fruit roll-ups. And then it came with these that would probably have been better for the watermelon, but it only came with 2 of these. And I knew I had more than 2 sheets worth. So we are going to dehydrate it on those sheets instead. And it does have a drip tray in the bottom to catch all that moisture as it drips down. But that's why I chose this one. It gave me so many different options. So from here, we've got it plugged in. We are going to hit our temp/time button. We're going to hit on. Then we're going to hit temp/time to go back and forth. So it's already on the time function. So we're going to change that to about 18 hours. Give me time to get to work and get home. Hit it again to get to our temp. And we're going to do 131 degrees. And that's it. We don't have to press anything else. It's already kicked on and started running. Back to the time. So the countdown is on. We'll check it tomorrow and see how it goes. I ended up adding some time this morning. I added an extra 4.5 hours, so it's been 22.5 hours. And it just finished a couple minutes ago. So I did that so that I didn't have to rush when I got home from work and whatever else. I could just kind of take my time. So 22.5 hours, and they are dried little pieces. So if you remember when I sliced them all up, they were not consistent sizes and shapes and whatever because I was using leftover watermelon. So not as pretty as if you had sliced your watermelon intentionally for this. They actually suggest you slice them in 1/4 inch little tortilla shapes, but the size of a tortilla chip. So we've got our little pieces, and they are kind of the consistency, if you will, of like a fruit roll-up. So they're soft, they're rolly, and they kind of taste like a fruit roll-up. It's like a watermelon Jolly Rancher without the jaw breaking. So nice, tasty snack, chewy snack, but a pretty great snack. So dehydrated watermelon, you don't need a freeze dryer to preserve it. So to store this, you're going to put it in a Mylar bag or a jar with an oxygen absorber or something like that to keep the moisture out of it so it stays good longer. but anything dehydrated is not going to last years and years and years. Okay. You got a few months if you store it right. So that's it. That is our dehydrated watermelon. Thank you for watching.